All my girls with me.
Out towards Chloe Rolly, wonderful step from the Scotland international, gliding away, running away, sprinting away, stunning score!
Lewis on the wraparound. This might work out for Thompson. They're going to put a little bit more on it, and then they're over.
Large on the ball, lovely flighted pass, Tatiana Hurd with a straight line, streaking towards the try line in the opening minute. She spills away, dives over the line, wonderful fly from Tatiana Hurd.
Megan Goddard puts the afterburners on. Shannon Harris, 2-on-1 is Lydia Thompson. Oh no, you're not going to catch Lydia Thompson from there. Scott, oh, it's intercepted by Emily Scarrett. They won't catch Emily Scarrett from there. The long legs just eating up the ground. Oh, Chloe Rowley's making her way back, but she won't catch her. Emily Scarrett has been on fire.
Carson again, she's having an absolute stormer of a second half. The Canadian international still going, gets the offload out. Lottie Clark bursts away from the tackles, gives it off. Carson again, looks around the outside, Packer for the hat-trick. What a score from Saracens. What a comeback.
Ride with me. All my girls with me. Ride with me.
Turnover by Malloy. And McDonald sets off. Claudia McDonald. Mack is back and in fine style. Oh, it's a fine strike. Marston controlling brilliantly. Now Bristol Pack going forward. It's a penalty try. Oh, now there's a gap. Burgess.
Ride with me. All my girls with me.
Hello and a very good afternoon from Twyford Avenue and the sunshine in West London for this top four Allianz Premier 15s clash. Two of the most successful ever club side in the women's game come together today as the black and gold of Wasps Ladies come up against the women in black of Saracens in this London derby. With two teams used to winning, this should be an enticing encounter. Our coverage is available to watch on England Rugby's Facebook and YouTube channels, as well as Premier15s.com and Premier15's Twitter. But however you're following us across the world, a very warm welcome to our coverage. Yes, a very good afternoon. I'm Nathan Middleton alongside the Harlequins captain and England international Rachel Burford. Rachel, how are you? Good afternoon.
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me along.
Thank you for joining us. Firstly, of course, Harlequins are in action this weekend in the Allianz Premier 15s. You're not playing. Can you give us an update on your injury and why you're not out there on the field?
Yeah, really disappointed to not be with the squad who are away today at Sale Sharks. I picked up a bit of a calf injury, so hopefully it won't keep me sidelined for too much longer.
Let's talk about stuff on the pitch. We've got the two teams warming up behind us. This is a game which, I don't know, I've been really looking forward to all week. Two different teams in terms of their style of play. When the teams came out, I don't know if it's as simplistic as this, but you look at particularly the Saracens pack and that Wasp backline, and that seemed to be, when you look at it on paper, where the dangers lie.
Yeah, you've got two contrasting sides there. The absolute power game from Saracens. I mean, you could literally, from number one, Rocky Clark, all the way to the back of the pack, Poppy Cleal, every single one of their players in the pack is absolutely dominant in their ball carries. They get on the front foot. You know, they're extremely dynamic and mobile around the park, which makes them really threatening and allows Zoe Harrison to then pull the strings. You know, when the likes of Poppy Cleal takes into contact, it takes two or three players to bring somebody down, and then she'll have Georgia Evans on her shoulder or Vicky Fleetwood on her shoulder. So it stresses out the defences, which allows Zoe Harrison to then play. But then you flip that on the head to Wasps. They love this fast, exciting, wide, expansive game. And why wouldn't you? With the X factor they've got in their back line, you want to get the ball out there, but it's going to be a big physical battle at the top. And I think, you know, for Wasps to be able to play, they want to play, they're going to have to manage that pack.
In terms of playing styles you mentioned there as well, both for forwards who want to get their kind of foot in and drive and maul game when they can inside the 22s, and also a running game today. Conditions are perfect. This looks like a fantastic pitch to do that on. I know obviously you were up there playing, but if you look at the weather conditions today, this is set up what could be a really exciting game.
Yeah, I think every player loves playing in the dry conditions. Maybe some forwards like to have a bit of a slower game at times, but I think we've seen over the last few years the athleticism of players from 1 to 15. Lots of players are mobile, they're excited, they like to play running rugby, and hopefully we're going to be in for a great one today.
And Giselle Mather, we came at the start of the season, it was actually your game against Wasps against Harlequins, and she said, I don't think the league will be as runaway as this season as maybe Saracens and Quins on top, and we're really seeing that. The game last week, Wasps against Harlequins, such a fantastic game. Exeter have obviously really come to the fore over the past few weeks as well, and it just seems like the competition across the league has really driven up this season.
Absolutely. I think we've seen the natural growth over the last few years, and this year it's really come into fruition. You look at the top four, you can't predict who's going to finish from 1 to 4. Last weekend, Wasps narrowly missing out against Harlequins, which they felt they should and could have won. Today could be a real contender for who's going to take away the victory, and it's brilliant for the league, it's brilliant for players. I mean, you look across all the teams, we've got internationals that want to come over here, they want to play in the Allianz Premier 15 because of the standard, because of the talent and the excitement. So it's going to make the business end really, really exciting, and that's exactly what you want as a fan.
Let's have a look at the league table of the Allianz Premier 15, see how close it is, of course. Then Saracens leading the way at the top of the table. Harlequins just behind them, 4 points. Sariso still, of course, with that game in hand. Loughborough then sitting in third. And then Wasps, today's host, sat in fourth on 40 points. They, of course, still have a game in hand as well. Exeter in fifth, arguably the form team in the Allianz Premier 15 to be sniffing a place in those top 4 playoff places. Gloucester, Harbury, Bristol and Worcester in 6, 7 and 8, and Sale Sharks off the back of their second ever win in the Allianz Premier 15s. They're in 9th place as DMP Durham Sharks look for their first points of the season still. We'll bring you the full fixture list in just a couple of moments. Let's get a word from the 2 camps ahead of kick-off. Ashley Wilmot's been speaking to the Saracens head coach Alex Osterbury and the Wasps director of rugby Giselle Mather.
Alex, a beautiful day in West London for your game against Wasps. What do you make of the side you're facing?
Very good side, lots of elements that can cause you damage if you're not switched on. They can attack from anywhere. Well coached, so they're a very rounded team. So it's going to be a big challenge today, and hopefully one that we can meet head on.
The return of Vicky Fleetwood, an All England back row, as she joins Poppy Cleal and Marley Packer. What influence are they going to have on your team's performance?
Fleeto, Poppy, Marley, hell of a back row. Lots of good, lots of talent in there, lots of speed, lots of carrying. So it's a well balanced back row. But that said, the players that have been in previously and no doubt will come in, they all added a little bit of different element. But Fleeto, I think it certainly is, around the speed that she can bring to the game and her breaks in wider channels.
This week on Saracens' new hype show, Chantel Mule said your side had one of their best first half performances against Wasps back in November. What have you been working on to ensure consistency over the 70 minutes?
I think you ask any coach about consistency, if they found the golden formula, they'd bottle it and sell it for a lot of money. I think it's just about understanding that process, and every game is going to be different. Sometimes you get off to a flyer in the start, sometimes you make a couple of errors. So it's making sure that we cut down our error count and manage territory, manage possessions, so that we kind of get a foothold in the game. And I think that when we played Wasps last time, we got off to a quick start, we got the territory, we got the possession, we got the points. I think where it doesn't go that way is probably where you make a couple of errors, give away a couple of penalties, and you get behind the 8 ball a little bit. So it's just understanding when to take momentum, when to put your foot down, and when not take your foot off, but play a little bit more conservative. So it's just kind of understanding the context of the game a little bit more, so that we can capture the right mood at the right time.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck today.
Thank you. See you in a bit.
Giselle, only the 3rd run out for your side this year. What are you learning about the resilience of your squad?
A lot, but not a lot, because the whole COVID thing has been an extraordinary experience for all of us, but we've always had a mantra here of coping with chaos and confusion, being comfortable with the uncomfortable, and we've been on that for 3 to 4 years. So it was almost like we knew something like this was coming when we began all that a little while back, and they're fantastic at responding to things changing in a millisecond now, and they just know that they've got to get on with it, as we all have, and they've done it fantastically well.
This week you've had a full forwards restructure. Have you had time to gel the new pod?
Yes, because we train as a squad of 40 in everything we do. So it's awesome that our 4 Irish players go back into international camp to prepare for their World Cup qualifiers. We've got a couple of injuries, as is always the way. And as a result, the players that are playing today are so excited for their opportunity, and I'm hoping they're going to tell me that I've been getting it wrong and that I should have been starting them. So that's the confidence that I have in them and they have in themselves, and they're so keen to have this opportunity, which is fantastic for the whole development of the squad.
And Craig makes her 50th Premier 15s appearance today. What quality does she bring to your side?
To do what she does, today she is playing at number 8, which is where she used to be, but obviously we've been moving her into the front row, and the scrummaging last weekend against Harlequins was immense, absolutely immense. She is so strong, very powerful and very quick, and a real true Wasp. Last year she was completing her dentistry stuff and she had to move down to Somerset, and she chose to still travel all the time backwards and forwards, and that's her commitment to this club and to the black and gold, and so I'm thrilled for her that she's got her 50th cap this afternoon.
You're facing the top of the table. Last time these two sides met, it was a close encounter, close game because you had a huge second half comeback. How important is it to set the tone straight away?
I could do without a game like that today for my nerves, I'm not going to lie. The first half we just weren't in it, and Saracens, were hugely physical, very direct, and we just didn't front up. So we had a long conversation at half time, and the girls responded, and it was I think it was all mixed up in a belief system as well, and that now is that they're ready to go. We are a very competitive side now, need to take that extra little step, which we're working towards, but we're an extremely competitive side and their belief system is intact.
Well, best of luck today, Giselle.
Thank you very much.
Giselle Mather and Alex Osprey there speaking to Ashley Wilmot ahead of kick-off. Good to hear from the two camps. Let's get a reminder of the fixtures across round 13 of the Allianz Premier 15s. One early kick-off in the game at Sandy Park. Exeter Chiefs 67 points to 5 to the good against the struggling bottom side DMP Durham Sharks. So a bonus point win on the card there for Exeter Chiefs. This is the 1:30 kick-off, and we'll bring you regular scores from all the 2 o'clock kick-offs. Loughborough Lightning against Worcester, Gloucester Hartpury against Bristol, and Rachel Burford's Harlequins are at Sale Sharks. Those the 2:30 kick-offs, those last 2 games. Bring you the scores as we get them. Let's have a look at the 2 teams, how they line up for this afternoon, starting with the host Wasps. There's a completely new pack for Wasps, 5 personnel changes coming in and also switches of position. The island forwards that played last week are with the international setup. In come Hannah West, Andrea Stock, Rowena Burnfield, Sam Monaghan and Sarah Mitchelson. Our try scorer last week, Liz Craig, as we've just been hearing, moves from prop to number 8, while another try scorer in that loss to Quins, Maud Muir, starts at hooker from prop last week. Sadia Kabea switches sides of the scrum from open side to blind side. The league's top point scorer this season, Meg Jones, impressed with both her kicking and running game last weekend, while Abby Dow is Wasps' top try scorer with 7 so far. There's been a late change to the Saracens lineup. Fly half Zoe Harrison is out. Lisa Martin comes in at fly half for her. Elsewhere there are 5 other changes since their win against Gloucester Hartpury last time out. Alex Osprey's side are boosted by the return of flanker Vicky Fleetwood in what is a full Red Roses back row, including Marley Packer and Poppy Cleal. Kelsey Clifford comes into the pack, while Georgia Evan moves from flanker to second row. There's a new midfield for the women in black of Chantel Meal and Cara Wardle, while Emma Uren gets her second start of the campaign on the wing. On to the replacements. Wasps have the England fullback Ellie Kildunn available after her recent injury. The England under-20 back Flo Williams received her first call-up to Wales squad this week ahead of the Six Nations, while Christiana Balogun will make her first appearance of the campaign if she comes on the pitch. Another player with their first Wales call-up this week was the Saracens prop Donna Rose. Experience comes in the form of Tamara Taylor and Sonia Green, whilst the exciting back 3 player Rachel Langaretta Tambua will be making her second outing of the season if she gets on the pitch. 2 teams just coming out here at Twyford Avenue. Saracens in their changed away strip of all red this afternoon because of the clash with Wasps. 2 teams, home colours of course in black. Both teams will mark their show, as all clubs across the Allianz Premier 15s do in their own ways. A mark against racism across the league. Referee Joe James blows the whistle and the two clubs show their respects. Blast of the whistle from Joe James, and we will get ready for kickoff. As you can see in your pictures, fantastic conditions, as we were talking about pre-game for rugby. Barely a cloud in the sky here in West London. Mild temperatures, hardly any wind. Not too many excuses with the conditions. Final call from Wasps to get themselves going, and it will be Meg Jones to get us going in this round 13 Allianz Premier 15's live stream. Excellent last week against Harlequins. Meg Jones. Joe James with Nicky O'Donnell and James Clark. With him today is his assistant referees as Meg Jones kicks deep in the 22. Taken by Marley Packer, and a first touch and an early touch for that late change. Lisa Martin for Zoe Harrison. First run of the ball for Abby Dow. Wasps on the attack in the early stages. Immediate advantage coming Wasps' way. Free play for them. Jones steps away. Through comes the red shirts in the Saracens midfield. Go back for the penalty advantage. A good start for Wasps. Advantage them in the early stages, and alongside me, of course, is Rachel Burford. Do you think that was a tactic to possibly get Lisa Martin into the game early, just a bit of a settler because that late change?
Yeah, maybe so. I think she was probably looking to clear her lines there. Really good ambition straight from the off from Wasps. You're seeing that they're trying to use their pods to pull the ball out the back to get into those wide channels, so I expect to see much more of this. Last weekend against Harlequins, same position, won a penalty, kick to the corner. So this was going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Excellent game last week. A penalty in the closing stages from Langi Tuima, securing the win for Harlequins. This, of course, inside the 22 for Wasps. First line out of the game. So they can catch and drive. Good take by Rowena Burnfield, but they opt to use it. Disruption from Sammy Graham, but Wasps still in possession inside the 22. Graham to Jones, looks for Caris William. Number 14 on her back today, but I'm sure you'll see her appearing in the midfield. Often seen her outside centre for both Loughborough and England. That's good front up Saracens defence, flying through at the moment. Excellent line speed. Home side, back outside their 22, but another advantage on the play.
Great defence from Saracens so far. Literally, Wasps are going from side to side, not making a dent in there. Saracens making a tackle, back on their feet, back in the line, which allows them to go and put pressure on, which is causing Wasps a lot of problems.
Graham, Jones and all the first receivers under pressure at the moment. This is wonderful defence by Saracens in the early stages, and now Poppy Cleal right in the heart of the action. Graham has to take a step back. A tip on from Wasps, now it's to the outside. Amy Wilson-Hardy just unable to grab that ball off to Alder. Bit of space for the Wasps captain around the outside against her opposite number she's brought down. Kabea with her first carry of the game. Still lots of energy in this Wasps attack, as you'd expect in the opening stages, but Saracens' defence superb so far. Jones, what can she create? Ball under the right arm, now she creates some space for Hardy. Wilson-Hardy onto Caris William, just not quite expecting the ball there. Hitting in the face and then dribbling into touch.
Yeah, lovely little play there. I think what Wasps need to do is just give themselves a little bit more depth. You can see the likes of Poppy Cleal, Sophie de Goudier. They're set, they're ready, they're getting off the line. They know the threats that Wasps have, and they're trying to close that down nice and early. Really unfortunate there, Caris William. Lovely little... We know what Meg can do on that right foot. Little step, go on the outside, draws two defenders in. Shame we couldn't hold on to it at the end.
Clearance for Saracens here. One of those, as soon as it strikes the boot of Lisa Martin, look, for a second it might be heading towards our commentary position, but thankful, just a bit low. Maud Muir from inside, from prop to hooker. So many versatile forwards in this Wasp pack. Spoke pre-game about Liz Craig moving from prop to number 8. Number of specialists, and Muir just unable to find a target, but a wonderful take at the back. Excellent run from Sam Monaghan, staying alert. Graham doing some digging work at the bottom of that ruck. Just had to delay for half a second as Cleel goes in. And she won that ball for Saracens. Wonderful steal from the England number 8. Excellent.
Just allowed the tackle to happen, saw the opportunity to go for the ball. Really strong low body position. She's got her team out of trouble.
And now what can Saracens do from deep here? A couple of passes, ball has spilled and Wasps have it back. Advantage on the play as well. Can they try and work here? Carey gets them up to the edge of the 22. Muir helps it on. They're looking to try and use it wide. Dow as well to release her hands and find some space. Jones again. What can she create here? The Wasps number 10. A wonderful dummy from Meg Jones. That's sublime. Meg Jones with the opening score of the game. The dummy to get her some space. Then the pace to run in. The big thumbs up to the rest of the squad. Meg Jones at her absolute best there. Creator and try scorer.
Outstanding. I mean, we've spoken about Meg Jones before. She's electric off that right foot. Uses the ball to manipulate the defence. Is she going to pass? Is she not going to pass? Outside is Sophie de Goudier, and then questions McKenna by giving that little pump on the outside, and she's in over the white line.
Case of backs against forwards, and Meg Jones showing exactly what can be done there. Excellent bit of skill from the Wasp fly half. She's back on her feet now with her first attempt from the tee this afternoon. Allianz Premier 15's top point scorer so far this campaign, looking to add a couple of more. It's a good strike, just left of the posts though, and remains Wasps 5,
I've seen it. I think the ball's gone
Saracens
behind it.
0.
I know what you're talking about, we'll keep an eye on it.
Shocking back to position now, and Wasps will await the kick-off. It was a fast start against Harlequins last week, and they've done it again at home. Lisa Martin with the kick for Saracens. That's an excellent kick as well, and a wonderful take by Sophie de Goudier. Sarries in possession inside the Wasp half for the first time. Rocky Clark with her first carry of the game, the former Wasp prop. Martin just had to stutter for a second there, but taken forward by Meal.
Don't go in. Good, thank you. No, it's on the shoulder.
Hayward looking around, looking for options. It's slow at the moment for Saracens. De Goudier again, the Canadian international at lock this week for them.
This is where they get really dangerous, running on hard onto the ball, getting their big ball carriers, Marley Packer, Vicky Fleetwood, and now the opportunity to play.
Here we are out wide, McKenna up against Williams. Two England internationals coming head to head there. Clear with the tip off. Bit of energy and urgency in this Saracens attack. We'll go back for the penalty, not rolling away for Wasps.
We talked about the power game with Saracens, you know, Poppy Cleal, Marley Packer, just a little chat there, talking to each other. I'm on your shoulder, puts doubt in the opposition. A lovely little play from them, building the phases, stressing the defence, and then winning the penalty.
Martin with a simple enough kick to the touch, just making sure.
Big danger zone here. We know notoriously what Saracens can do here. Good strong back pack, really good set piece. Be looking at a drive here.
First line out for Saracens in dangerous territory, and the driving wall is set, and it's got some energy and momentum behind it. This is good work from the Sarries pack, heading towards the Wasps try line, and easy as you like for May Campbell with the score, her 10th try of the campaign, and that the Saracens pack at its absolute best. Power and precision from the line out, and they're level in this game.
Yeah, that's an area of execution that they do very well, and it's a very big strength of theirs. You know, Poppy Cleal took a bit of a messy ball in that line out, brought it down. You can see how tight the pack are together. No bridges between any of the players driving over. Rowena Burnfield, as always, trying to be a Norse, trying to get in there. Listens to the referee, tell her to get out. And you know, when you're in that area of the pitch, it's really, really difficult, and it's really hard to stop. But what a response on the back of Meg Jones's try.
Yeah, Lottie's spoken to me.
Marley
We know
Packer
what you're
just
talking about. Yeah.
having a word with Jo James, getting her point across. Martin with her first attempt of the afternoon. Try and give Saracens the lead.
She's not moved. She hasn't moved.
Referee just saying Martin has not began her run up. As Abby Dow headed towards her. Martin not successful with the strike, so we are all square in the game at Twyford Avenue in the early stages.
Oh, she chose to take the kick, okay? So
Try and get another look at the Saracens score when we can.
I think Meg Jones will be looking to kick this deep, put them under pressure, try and get Lisa Martin on the boot to then reward a line out.
It was a topsy-turvy game in a match earlier in the season at Saracens, where Sarries took a huge first half lead, but Wasps came back in the second half and then very nearly took some points. 33-27 that one finished as the kick is charged down by Wasps. Big celebrations on the sideline from a Wasp point of view. That energy from the touchline, trying to help out those on the pitch.
Elizabeth Craik there, loads of energy, big start for her at number 8, putting lots of pressure on Lisa Martin. That's 2 now that Lisa's struggled with this. That's going to be an area of pressure they're going to try and keep applying.
Need to try and use the ball here. Wasps into the centre of the pitch, setting up their structures. Jones, the try scorer, to Older. Try and go around the outside as Wardle brings her down around the ankles. Graham again, she's under so much pressure when it comes to the breakdown. And Saracens sniffing the chance to steal the ball. It eventually makes its way to the ground. And the referee says that it will be a free kick to the visitors. A reminder, the COVID protocols changed across the Allianz Premier 15s. There's a number of, apologies, it's actually a scrum, not a free kick. A number of free kicks that were awarded for things which would have been scrum to try and reduce the face-to-face contact. There'll be a break as well at the midpoint of the first and second halves, and 35-minute halves as well for the two teams.
I think that was Poppy Cleal again in at the breakdown. She's such a noise in and around that area, doesn't give up the fight in any breakdown.
First scrum of the game then. Eloise Hayward waiting to put the ball in, but referee not too happy with how that first scrum is set. Did really well against the Quins pack last week, Wasps, but a pretty much whole new 8. 5 personnel changes, a couple of positional ones as well. We reset as Clark, Campbell and Clifford come up against Westmuir and Stock. Clean strike from Saracens. It's at the back through. Cleal goes on an arcing run, heads towards Jones. She's brought down. That's a clever little nudge through from Hayward. Dow is back there, does well. Abby Dow through 1, through 2. Such an elusive runner, Abby Dow. Wasps trying to find the wide spaces. Here's Wilson Hardy. Graham to Craik, going to juggle with the ball, manages to regain possession. Burnfield with the carry, Graham in. Deeper is Jones this time, looking to try and create some space. Dow back on the inside, advantage on Wasps' way for that knock-on. Here's Caris Williams, up against a couple of forwards, steps through Campbell, releases the ball. Trying to keep this high energy offloading game at the moment. Wasps is doing them well. Muir again with the offload there. Drake with the carry. They're up to the 22. This has been some good phases from a Wasp point of view. The ball comes loose, but they have themselves a penalty on the play. Not releasing in the tackle this time, and Meg Jones immediately points towards the posts.
Yeah, lovely control. You can see that Wasps are trying to keep the ball alive, keep Saracens on their toes. There's a couple of times that Saracens are getting shortened up because they're trying to bring all of that heat, but very quickly Wasps have worked out. They don't even need to engage in the line. They can allow the pressure to come on them. Little tips they got onto the outside on the left-hand side of the pitch, but also on the right-hand side. So Giselle's going to be pretty happy with how they're playing so far.
Pretty much dead centre this for Jones. Shimmy with the shoulders. Drawing that line between ball and posts. The right-footed strike. She's happy enough with that one. First successful strike of the afternoon for Meg Jones, and Wasps regain the lead again. 8-5 to the home side. Meg Jones with both scores for the women in black and gold. Good open match so far, 15 minutes gone, won't be too far away from the first water break. Both teams as well coming away with points when they have gone through some attacking phases. I'll be pleased with that, with Martin's restart, finding Muir. Good bustling strength from Muir. Shove on Sophie de Goody to get her away. Jones now with the strike, looking to get in between McKenna, and Martin is back there. Sarah McKenna back from a long injury layoff. Two full-backs today, two England internationals. Host of international players going head-to-head this afternoon. It's a real high-quality feel about this match. It's been a high-quality start as Cleel flings the ball out wide. Step just lost the footing there. Clark in the back, scrum cap. Still going so strong since she left this club to join Wasps. High tackle there. Coming in, and a penalty in the centre of the pitch. To remind you, the early kick-off, Exeter on for a bonus point win at Sandy Park against DMP Durham Sharks. This is the 1:30 kick-off. We'll bring you scores from Loughborough against Worcester, which is 2 o'clock. It's actually full time at Sandy Park now, 76-5. The Chiefs, big winners there over DMP Durham Sharks.
You can see Marley Packer and Vicky Fleetwood out in the open field on a 5-man. I'd be expecting the ball to go down their channel.
Saracens then off the top, looking to use it quickly. Direct running line is the first option. Hayward to de Goody. So carries for the Canadian lock so far. Here's Fleetwood back into that Saracens back row this afternoon. Good front up tackling that time by Wasps. Slow at the moment for Saracens. Cleel in the middle of the pack, the double tackle on her, and she spills the ball.
Brilliant defence from Wasps. You can see that they're only putting one in at breakdown. Rowena Burnfield doing a really good job there to slow the ball down, which allows Wasps to get on their feet, get themselves set to go and apply the pressure again. At the moment, Saracens aren't stressing the Wasps defence enough. They need to think about tipping the ball on like they did in the first few phases of their play to get on the front foot, which is where they're really, really dangerous.
So that spill, it will be a free kick when we do get back onto the pitch. Let's have a look at the action so far.
Just which makes Sarah McKenna just slightly turn her hips, which invites Meg Jones into that space. Brilliant celebration there.
We saw that from Maud Muir last week as well. It's becoming a feature of the Wasps try celebrations, and the dummy as well. As you mentioned, her hips out there and the pass, and she's looking at Caris Williams as well just to create the space. Looks very simple, but it's a really important skill.
Yeah, it is, but she does it really well. And I think, anybody that's watching, always keep the ball in two hands, because then you've got all options. Here we've got, a classic from Saracens, really tight, no gaps between the players there. Almost too easy for them to draw back. Rowena Burnfield trying to get in there, trying to make a mess of things. But this is an area that we know that Saris will absolutely punish sides if they get into this area.
And May Campbell, how many times this season have we seen her just flop over the try line off the back of a driving maul? They have to be finished, of course. The hard work being done up front. She's amongst the top try scorers in the Allianz Premier 15s this season. Jasmine Joyce and a couple of hookers in Lark Davis and Amy Kikane trying to chase her down at the top of those try scoring charts. Jones sitting deeper, high kick this time, end over end. Dow was up there chasing. Knock on from her.
Really good option. Abby Dow's one of the best players aerially. Sticking it up there, putting pressure on Eloise. Just unfortunate there not to get it.
Martin fizzing it out. There's an overlap here if Saracens can work it to the outside, which they do. Big charge forward by Cara Wardle. 21-year-old in an outside centre today. McKenna at first receiver. DeGoody. Quicker this time for Saris. Martin on. That's good hands from Clark, who's to the far side. Cleal to Packer. Lottie Clapp now in the foot race. Lottie Clapp round the outside. Excellent recovery tackle inside the 22. Wasps scrambling to get back, and they've won themselves a penalty though. Excellent defensive work when just for a second it looked like the gas of Lottie Clapp might be going around the outside of Wasps.
That was outstanding play. If you watch that went through the entire pack's hand. Rocky Clark, Kelsey Clifford, Poppy Cleal to get it to the outside channel. But what a result there for Wasps. They will be absolutely buzzing to have turned that over, to be under pressure in that area and to win a penalty. That's going to give the side a lot of energy.
I'll tell you what, that is some kick from Meg Jones. We're just seeing a replay of the turnover here on the pitch. It was a strike from a very tight angle. You can see where that penalty was just won, and Jones has got her team a metre away. The track pretty much dead on the halfway line. Has to be off the top, and it's Muir who beats Georgia Evans in the air. Here she's again, the thrower. So well, always consistently seems to beat the first tackler, Maud Muir, whether that through a shimmy or a brute strength.
She's a brilliant carrier of the ball, and she's one of the players who's going to be really key to unlocking Wasps today, to getting them on the front foot. That low centre of gravity, she works so hard. Look, she's ready there now for the next carry as well.
And the penalty coming for Wasps over the top this time was Kelsey Clifford. Penalty after penalty. Frustrated Alex Otterbury just down below us with that referee. Well, frustrated either with the referee's call or with his player's infringement. Either way, Wasp penalty as Jones goes for the deep one. Not making touch this time. That's clever from Martin, getting away from the first tackle, trying to steady herself with a kick, but had to take contact in the end. Here come the Saracens pods and forwards. Evans with the carry. Called up to the Wales squad this week. Georgia Evans. Kicked for Dow to deal with, which she does well, taking it in the air.
Great pressure there by Chantel Mile. Straight over the ball. Who is it? It's Marley Packer.
Evans line up this time. Big hit on her. She does well to get the ball out. It's all a bit frantic from both sides at the moment. Saracens keen to play, Wasps keen to defend. McKenna tries to spot some space back there. Can only find the midriff at Meg Jones. That's a wonderful offload to Abby Dow, drawing in the player and giving it to Celia Quansah. Inside and out she steps, still going Quansah. This is an excellent run from the Wasps winger. That's the 22 metre. Wasps desperate for the ball. This has been a long phase of play from both sides. There'll be some tired legs out there. The end of this one, Graham flings it out. Older, Wilson Hardy steps inside and out. Williams on the outside. Inside she beats Lottie Clapp. Packer coming across. Good offload from Williams. Back inside. This is a real high energy game at the moment from Wasps, just trying to tire down this Saracens defence, which started the game so well, flying up. In they go again, this time using the heavy lifters, heavy truckers, but Saracens with the turnover. This time it is May Campbell over the ball. You can just see there on the tighter angle some of those big, heavy breasts, hands on hips. That was a brutal bit of play from both sides.
Yeah, it certainly was. I think, we're seeing Wasps really stress the Saracens' defence, moving it from edge to edge. Brilliant play from Meg Jones to link up with her back free player, Abby Dow, to get on the outside. Brilliant run by Consa. We know what damage she can do in the open space. Great agile running, which gave her team the front foot opportunity. But again, that's 3 penalties now that they've managed to turn over in the breakdown area, so that'll be something that Wasps will want to tighten up on, want to get their latches a little bit closer to secure their ball.
Jones, one of 4 Wasps players who will be part of the GB7's initial training squad, announced yesterday, along with Abby Burton, Celia Conser and Amy Wilson-Hardy. Holly Aitchison and Deborah Fleming part of that from a Saracens point of view. As that kick was charged down and Wasps back in possession. Carried forward by Sarah Mitchelson. Dow is first receiver this time. Direct option taken by the Wasps fullback. To the left, Hardy to Quanser on that far side again. Trying to keep herself in the play. She has done, but the referee spotted an infringement there. Molly Packer just trying to wriggle her foot out. And she does so. We're going back for a Wasp penalty a bit further back. Georgia Evans, I think, I heard on the referee's mic there. Joe James penalising. Kicking game from Meg Jones again inside the 22. She seems so in form at the moment, Meg Jones, Rachel. I don't know if you agree with this, but just everything looks so sort of slow and easy to her. She seems to be just that offload at the back to Abby Dow. Obviously, we've already seen with her try as well. She seems to play at the top of the game.
Yeah, she's a big influential player, and I think it all starts from just her passion and energy. She literally attacks everything at 100%. You can see her constantly scanning in the game, and that's what creates the opportunities for her. She's looking 2 steps ahead, as opposed to the first thing. She's looking what's going to happen next, and then after that, and how she can bring her players into the game. But yeah, she's having a great game and controlling the game really well.
Possession, turning over once, the line out, not hitting the mark from a Wasp point of view, and then the knock-on from Saracens. So free kick. 2 Wasps, dead centre of the pitch. Graham with her hands on the ball. Potentially a chance of a set-piece move. These free kicks coming in, teams will have to just work and adapt as the penalty then though comes Saracens' way for holding on. Frustration from a Wasp point of view that first carry, that very first play, just unable to make anything from it.
Really disappointing. Big opportunity that was for Wasp, but you have to look at the technical side of that. Marley Packer tackling low, which allows her teammate to get in and over the ball to get that turnover.
And the West with that carry into contact. That one looks as if it won't make touch. It doesn't. Jones underneath it, up against Fleetwood. Clapp as well. Rode the tackle initially of Clapp, but then brought down. Cabella with the carry forward. Muir. Mitchelson in there supporting along with Liz Craig.
Really dominant tackle there. Still Poppy Kill fighting in the breakdown.
Burnfield looked for a second like the big lock might gallop away, but crossing was the call. And McKenna keen to get on with it. Quick tap from the Saracens fullback. De Goody wriggles away. Still going Sophie De Goody. That's an excellent offload as well. Inside the 22. Carry for Evans. Slowed down this time by Watson. They're over the ball this time. Turnovers are plenty from both sides. Excellent work as Burnfield and a couple of players get up.
Great work from McKenna. Sees the opportunity to play the quick tap, get into tempo, get Wasp on the back foot. Really good run there by Sophie Goudet, but needed more players to keep up with play. Georgia Evans isolated on her own, running into a pack, 2 or 3 of the Wasp players. There's only going to be one winner in that incident.
Saracens are on a 5-game winning streak against Wasps. January 2018, the last time Wasps beat Saracens. Nolly Waterman, Danielle Waterman, everyone knows her as Nolly, with the tri-hero. 5-0 win in 2018. It was a cold afternoon, tight afternoon. So far this has been a lot more open and expansive. 8-5 at the moment to the hosts, sat in 4th place in the Allianz Premier 15s. Wilson Hardy onto West, but she was confronted by a red shirt. This Saracens defence has been flying up, and I think that pressure on Hannah West just caused her to knock the ball on. Free kick to Saracens.
Yeah, great work there by Lottie Clapp. Comes in, reads the play really well, forces the error and gets her team back into a really good position.
Eloise Hayward, the former Worcester scrum half, with the tap. Campbell, back round to Hayward. Cleal with the charge forward, direct and powerful from Poppy Cleal. Packing out, looking to make inroads. Try scorer Campbell going around the fringes, but there's a knock-on spotted by the referee, and it will be a free kick just outside the 22.
I think Alex is going to be quite frustrated. He said at the start of the game, you know, he wants his team to minimise the errors because it's allowing teams in with an opportunity, so he'll be disappointed with those.
But a man who's unwilling to show his emotions on the touchline just down below us. Giselle Mather in a platform a bit to our right, and that kick from Meg Jones, superb. There is a little bit more of a breeze here at Twyford Avenue, and it does favour Wasps, but still the direction and accuracy and distance of that kick, excellent.
Yeah, outstanding. Manages to kick over Lisa Martin's head, which I think she thinks is going to go straight out, so allows it to bounce, but puts her team into a great position now to put pressure on Saracens to get out of their 22.
Still a Saracens throw into line, of course, from a free kick, but they are just outside their own 22, so unable to maul. This has to be off the top, fizzed in by Campbell to Goody. Packer now. Out the tackle from her to Fleetwood. Looking to try and use the ball wide. This time Saracens got the direction on the pass that time. Neil with it and looks frustrated herself.
I think Meg Jones will be pointing for the post on this one.
She's jogging over, just checking the call with captain Kate Alder. Rachel Burford calling the play before it happens. It was a kicker as well, who's, as we've said, her confidence must be so sky high, considering her form, not only with ball in hand but as well with the boot. She's striking so cleanly with ball in hand, and has just missed with the first strike from the tee, accurate with the second. This her third. Two big lunges to the left, arms down by the side, and going through a routine she'll have done hundreds and thousands of times. A strike from the right boots, and up go the flags from Nikki O'Donnell and James Clark, extending Wasps' lead 11 points to 5 through Meg Jones's penalty.
Wasps are working really hard to get themselves into those positions. I think it's the right call. Take the penalty, take the 3 points, especially when Megan Jones is kicking as well as she is.
So approaching the closing few minutes of the first half here in the round 13 match live stream on England Rugby's Facebook and YouTube channels, as well as Premier15s.com and Premier15's Twitter. A real high quality game as Burnfield unable to take the ball. Meg Jones with the kick, and that one has gone straight out, so we're going to go back to where Jones struck the ball, which is just outside the Wasps 22.
Yeah, unfortunate kick there. She probably rushed that one, could have taken it in or popped her forward to set it up, give herself a better angle. You can see her, she's talking to herself now about slicing underneath the ball, but she'll forget that and move on.
At the back this time from Saracens. Wasps has stolen the ball. Well, some of the Saracens players just stopped playing for a second there. And Wasps 2 on 3 on the outside. That's a huge hit from Poppy Cleal, potentially going over the horizontal. Referee seems happy enough with it for now. Now Marley Packer, a couple of big hands-offs in the face from Packer. As you'd expect, the likes of Cleal and Packer right up for this one.
Yeah, you can see their frustration is coming out when they haven't got the ball in hand, and there Marley Packer with the fend.
The Allianz Premier 15's league leaders under a bit of pressure at the moment. There's McKenna. Now what can she produce? A little chip and chase from her. Alder reads the ball. Will go back for the Saracens penalty. And they will have themselves an option in the centre of the pitch as it's Maud Muir just receiving a bit of treatment down in front of us from that huge tackle from Poppy Cleal. You could feel it from here. She lined her up. Shoulder, strength and power.
Yeah, and I think a lot of frustration and a little bit of aggression in there. Really good textbook tackle from Poppy Cleal. Gets underneath the ball, lifts her player, takes her down correctly. But yeah, I think, you know, for me, just watching that set there, McKenna's kicked that ball because she can't see any space in front of her. What Wasps are doing really well, they're all on their feet, they're spreading the line really well, so then, you know, every time you look up as a Saracens player, you know, all you can see is Wasps shirts, so then you go in for the little dig behind. I think what the Saracens could do is actually spread their width a little bit more, use the whole width of the pitch. At the moment, they're playing between the 15s and all their players are in that area. I'd love to see, you know, Emma Urin, Lottie Clapp right in the 5 metre channels. Let's stress the Wasps defence.
Lisa Martin on the penalty, looking to get inside the 22, the Scotland fly half. Celia Quanta does well to jump up and just tap the ball inside. Down now with the run. Packer just sniping at her ankles. It's an excellent tackle. And then that as well with the double play from Wasps, and Cleal keen to get on with the play. Advantage to Saracens here, knocked back 10. And this is yellow card territory as Joe James goes sniffing around in his pockets, and it will be Sarah Mitchelson off the pitch for 10 minutes. Wasps the closing stage of this first half with 14 players against the 15 of Saracens.
Good tempo from Poppy Cleal there. Can see that Wasps aren't back 10, take the extra yards. She's earned herself and as a team a player in the bin now.
Looking to use the direct game again. Cleal goes forward. Wasp players flying up on her.
Dangerous territory here. Saracens always get in and around the ball nice and tight. They can be completely unstoppable in this zone.
Here's the power game from Saracens again. We saw it with the driving maul for their first try. What have they got here? Right under the post at the moment, heading towards them in between. Frantic from the forwards, Wasps doing everything they can with a forward down. That was a better defensive effort that time round. Looking to try and use it this time. Here's Wardle, big handoff from her on Wilson Hardy. Now held up, Wardle. Back to the penalty advantage for Saracens. Real animation. The Sarries coaching staff down below for us. I think they realise an important part of the game this. Converted try here, gets them back into the leaders. DeGoody goes quickly. Just short for Saracens. Was told to get on the try line. And Saracens, I think, walking back, and a try is actually being given there. So not too much excited animation. I thought initially the referee had given a penalty, but a second score of the afternoon from Saracens. We'll get a replay to see who went over. It's tight around the fringes, and just a couple of frustrated claps. Kelsey Clifford, and I think it is Rocky Clark against her former side, who's gone over at a sniping best from close range.
Really important score there to be in that territory and come away with some points. I think, you know, that smile on Rocky Clark's face says it all, that she certainly did get that ball over. But there you see, that's the power of Saracens pack. They get together, they go to work, they pick and go, they work tirelessly hard in that area to get those opportunities and to ultimately get 5 and hopefully 7 points on the board.
Martin then, the ball tilted towards the post to give her side the lead for the first time in this contest. Big deep breath, begins her run up. The Saracens, number 10, good strike this time, and they do have the lead, and that is the end of the action for the first half. That giving Saracens a narrow 1 point lead going into the break. 12-11 they lead here at Twyford Avenue, and is what's been an absorbing first 35 minutes from both sides. Martin with that nudge, that conversion right on the stroke of half-time. A late change, a late replacement for Zoe Harrison before the game. Hasn't appeared to disrupt Saracens so much. The Allianz Premier 15's league leaders right in a battle here though, right up against it against Wasps. Just a point, they have nudged themselves ahead. Your thoughts on that first 35 minutes, Rachel Burford?
Well, it's been a truly exciting game. Both ends, both teams absolutely going absolutely 100% at it. And I think, we're seeing glimpses of what both sides want to do. Saracens, when they get moving through the phases, getting their big ball carriers on the ball, they dent the Wasps defence. They get in the back foot get Wasps on the back foot, which is where they are most dangerous. We've seen a couple of times moving the ball for Wasps is where they are dangerous. Meg Jones, we've seen her footwork, we've seen her get on the outside. All they need to do is keep holding that depth to allow the ball to play at the outside. But for both teams, errors have allowed them both in the game.
Let's have a look at the first half highlights. First score of the game. Meg Jones at her best. Quick ball it was for her to work with. And then just the step, the pace and the dummy.
Yeah, great work. We've mentioned her footwork to get on the outside of the player. Sophie de Goudier, forward versus back. Meg's got a great outside arc, great split, and then keeping the ball in two hands, having a fend, dummy into Karis Williams, allows her to exploit that space, just makes Sarah McKenna just slightly doubt, pushes on the outside, and it gives her the opportunity to go in.
Excellent score from Meg Jones, and the big thumbs up as well. Celebration you can see across Premier 15's channels, and this just all about, well, it's just meat and drink for Saracens, isn't it? This is what they do.
Yeah, they go to work here. They get low, they latch in, they drive. They're all on the same page. They know exactly what route they're going. They're going forward, and Mel Campbell dots over at the end there.
10th try of the season for May Campbell, England under-20s player. The player of November with a flurry of scores, and she's the one getting a reward from these Saracens driving balls this season. That left the score at 5-all. A couple of Meg Jones penalties put Wasps 11-5 to the good, but this is the last play of the game. And it was Rocky Clark and, well, Saracens almost, this is why I didn't call it as well, because it was almost a lack of celebration from the team.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody knew that had scored other than Rocky Clark herself. Look, big moment in the game this, going in at the half time, with their towels up, having applied the pressure to get the reward, get the 5 points, 7 points should I say, and going into the half on the up. Wasps would be extremely disappointed with that. They've really pressured, kept the side out really well, and then just to let it slip in the last few moments before half time will be disappointing for the side.
We're having a word with the injured Wasps and England scrum half Claudia McDonald. Speaking to her in just a second, let's have a look at some of the latest scores across round 13 of the Allianz Premier 15s in the early game. Big win for Exeter Chiefs women, bonus point win at Sandy Park. 75-5 win over bottom side DMP Durham Sharks. Of course, you're watching with us here at Twyford Avenue. 12-11 to Sarries at half time here, and it's a 2 o'clock kickoff, so we're 10 minutes into the game in the East Midlands, and Loughborough Lightning 0, Worcester Warriors 0 in that one, bringing you the scores of that game throughout the afternoon, as well as of course the 2:30 kickoffs between Gloucester Hartpury and Sale Sharks Women. Also available live streams of them. Just head to the Premier 15's Instagram and Twitter, and you'll be able to see some of the action across there. Just before we get a word with Claudia McDonald, let's show off some of the stories around the Allianz Premier 15s this season with our continuing My Life series. This week it was the Saracens forward Sophie de Goudier talking about her life and why rugby means so much to her. The Canadian international also reveals she comes from some pretty famous rugby stock.
My name is Sophie de Goudier. I'm from Victoria, BC, Canada, and I play for Saracens in the Allianz Premier 15s. I'm an uber competitive person, so I love any game you put me in. But to me, what makes rugby different is the bond that's created with your teammates when you're literally laying your body on the line for them. I think that's what makes this sport so special. How we get in a ruck, for example, and take hits to protect our 9. It's that type of sacrifice for teammates that's pretty unique to rugby. I really lucked out on the gene pool, being the daughter of 2 Canadian rugby legends. My mom, Steph White, was our first ever national team captain in 1987, and she played for Canada for 10 years. And then my dad, Hans Deere, played for the national team for 13 years, and he also captained Canada at the '87 World Cup. We always had some international tests recorded to watch when I got home from school, and probably the most telling is that I would recognize Richie McCaw long before I knew who Wayne Gretzky was, unlike most Canadian kids. I remember in 2006 when the World Cup was in Canada, we went to watch a few games and I got to touch the actual cup, but I didn't totally understand just what was happening. And then in 2014, when Canada made the final against England, my parents and I were actually in Amsterdam at the time visiting, and we immediately dropped everything to drive to Paris for the final. That's when I really realized the impact women's rugby could have on the world stage and how incredible our Canadian national team was. I feel really privileged to play on our national team, especially knowing the history of the program from my mom's stories and following the team as I grew up. I've always really admired the dedication of our players who train as full-time athletes while often balancing a career or studies at the same time. When I'm not training and playing with Saracens, I'm currently finishing up a commerce degree from university and studying to apply for law school. Playing in the Allianz Premier 15s this season has been instrumental for my World Cup prep because I've actually been able to get games under my belt that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to back home. Competition across the league is top quality, and it's really helped me to identify work-ons in my game that I can address now before we get back into international tests. I've really enjoyed the rugby here so far. We have some crazy bright and experienced players and staff at Saracens, so I'm really just trying to soak up as much as I can. Saracens definitely has a winning culture, and I love being a part of a group that is consistently striving to hold itself to that type of high standard. Rugby has given me so many opportunities. I've attended university, I've traveled the world, and I've met countless people who eventually became friends and mentors. I'm so thankful for the sport and its community, and I genuinely can't wait to be a part of helping the women's game continue to grow.
Continuing My Life series there is to continue as well as across Premier 15's channels this year. We'll get through every single club across the Allianz Premier 15s. That was a word, of course, from the Saracens camp. Let's get a word from the Wasps camp now. Ashley Wilmot is pitch shy. She's speaking to Wasps and England scrum half Claudia MacDonald.
Claudia, an energetic start, and it's a beautiful day, but not the scoreline you would have wanted at half-time.
No, not quite. We're a little off the mark, but it's a really competitive game. We would expect nothing less. So it's going to be a really important second half for us. It's just going to be about taking control of the game and seeing what we can do.
I mean, we were just talking just before we went live there. We can hear Giselle talking to the team all the way from over here.
Yeah.
And we were just saying they've managed to get into your 22 3 times. 2 out of the 3 times they've scored.
Yeah.
What do you think the conversation is going to be like in that changing room right now?
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty simple. It's going to be play in their half, get the ball down there as early as possible, and then just a bit of discipline, really. I think we've let ourselves down a couple of times, so as long as we can sort of get rid of those, then I think it'll be happy days. We'll play some good rugby in their half, and it'll be exciting to see the score.
And as a half-back yourself, what are your thoughts on Meg Jones's performance at the moment, her kicking game?
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, she's an outstanding player anyway. She brings that energy, she brings that creativity, and then she's got the skill set of a 10 as well. So, really exciting player. I think it'll be how she can take control of the team, control things, and then, play in the right areas of the pitch.
Putting you on the spot here, but predictions?
Oh, we're going to win, obviously.
Confidence is key. Thanks for your time, Claudia.
Thanks very much.
Great to get the thoughts of Claudia MacDonald there. Confidence of a Wasps win. Some of the Saracens coaching staff just emerging from the changing facilities here at Twyford Avenue, so we won't be too far away from the two teams returning. Officials as well coming out at the moment. Remind you that score, 2 tries scored by May Campbell, her 10th of the season, and Rocky Clark, a 5th try this season, giving them the win with Meg Jones's try and 2 penalties getting the Wasps scores. Reminder, the live stream's coming up here on Allianz Premier 15s and England Rugby channels. Next game involving Harlequins Women against Gloucester Hartpury, taking place at Surrey Sports Park. Loughborough Lightning against Wasps, a top 4 tussle. That one as well, you imagine. Big one, the top 2, Saracens against Harlequins, Saturday, March the 27th. Repeat of the finals in the past couple of years. And then Loughborough against Saracens. That one taking place in the middle of the Women's Six Nations. All of those with us here on England Rugby and Premier 15 channels. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram. All the latest news, updates, the My Life stories, some of the best stats and facts as well. Keeping up to date with everything Allianz Premier 15s over the course of the week. Saracens back with us here at Twyford Avenue. Rocky Clark just coming down pitch side for a word with Alex Osterbury. 39 years old, still going strong. A couple of experienced players within their ranks. Sonia Green and Tamara Taylor on the bench for Sarries, 37 and 39 respectively. Rocky Clark is hot baths and hard work. I remember speaking to her in an interview of how she keeps going. And whatever she is doing her well. Still going strong, and not even just going strong and playing in the Allianz Premier 15s, scoring, competing, and at the forefront of everything that, well, the best team, I'm sure you might disagree with the best team in the country, but they're top of the table, Rachel Burford, but one of the best teams in the country, and she's still competing at such a high level.
She's an absolute tough cookie, that one. She goes and goes and goes for her team. You know, she is young at heart and young in her mind. She'll put her body through anything for her side, and you know, she's got the youngsters of Kelsey Clifford and Donna Rose keeping her on her toes. But what a fantastic opportunity for those two young props to be under her wing, to be learning their trade with her.
So Wasps back on the pitch with us here as well. It will be Saracens to kick off in this second half. Lisa Martin, I want to get us going. And just a reminder, if you're joining us, a late change for Sarries at 10. Zoe Harrison dropping out with an injury pre-game. And Martin replacing her. 12-11. Saracens lead in this London derby. Heading into the second half. Again, under blue skies. Excellent rugby conditions. Big hit to start the second half. Straight from kickoff.
Outstanding take under pressure there.
Did so well to keep hold of the ball. Back to Meg Jones. And Wasps look to clear their line. That one will stay in though. McKenna had to just step not too much on the path to herself. Back to Jones, looking to strike across the ball. That will remain in the pitch though. And Hayward to Martin. Emmy Arendt looking to come forward. Cabella lining her up and stopping her in her tracks. Hannah West getting involved in there along with Sam Monaghan, but not releasing in the tackle.
I suspect the messages at half-time would play in the right areas, as we saw with that kicking tennis there.
Referee just apologising to a couple of players there for his call. Joe James on the whistle this afternoon. First scrum of the second half. Eloise Hayward with the footballing skills. Player who's featured for England under-18 and England sevens.
Okay, just wait, please, Ross. Sally, you go ready.
Christiana Balogun, as Rachel Burford just pointing out, on for a season debut for Wasps. 23-year-old. Solid enough scrum, but Cleel going the long way around the outside. Cabella with the tackle on her, but it's an excellent offload to Packering. Coming inside is McKenna. She just had to hurdle a player when it looked like she might be coming through. Penalty to Saracens. Coming through on the top. And McKenna has stayed down from that challenge, and she'll receive a bit of treatment.
Poppy Cleal so dangerous off the back of the scrum there. Takes 10-15 yards, and who's on her shoulder? Marley Packer. Staying on the front foot, offloading to McKenna. Really unfortunate that she's now down.
Sarah McKenna is okay. As you can hear, it was a boot on the floor that just caught the Saracens fullback. She's back getting some game time. Sarah McKenna had a long time out with injury. Former Wasps player as well, back in a second spell with Saracens. 5th start of the season. Just a reminder as well, of course, you can see on the clock that Wasps starting this half with 14 players. Sarah Mitchelson still in the bin, waiting the full complement of 15. McKenna looks okay, back on her feet, and the medical staff happy enough that she's doesn't need any checks. Good to see her back, and I'm sure England head coach Simon Middleton watching what is an intriguing battle at 15 between the two sides. McKenna and Abby Dow will regularly line up alongside each other in the England back three. Opposite sides this afternoon in the 2-15 shirts. Sarries inside the 22. May Campbell just checking the call. It was knocked from a too dissimilar position in the first half. Sarries got their first try of the game. Cleal under pressure, but she gathers the ball, and through come the red shirts, trucking themselves forward. This is an excellent drive from Saracens again, looking for their third try. Up goes the referee's hand, and it's just clinical. It's brilliant from Saracens forwards. The pack doing the hard yards and extending their lead. Third try of the game for them.
Yeah, outstanding process there. Brilliant kick from the start, Lisa Martin, pushing it as much as she can to get as close to the try line. Brilliant take from Poppy Cleal. Again, she's not having it's not easy for her to take it at the top. She's being challenged, pulls her pack in, nice strong low position, as we saw from their first driving line out maul try. Rocky Clark latched on there. Nothing's going to stop them there. Really, really difficult to stop when it gets momentum and it gets moving forward. You've got to get yourself round there defensively and get your head stuck in, add weight to it, try and stop it whatever way you can. But as we've mentioned, that is an area that Saracens, it's their go-to, it's their strength. They know that they can pull the trigger and execute in that area.
Just the unstoppable force at the moment, that Saracens driving maul. Martin lining up her third conversion of the afternoon. Just to the right of the post this time from Martin, so it stays 17-11, one score in the game. And May Campbell again, it was her that dotted down off the back of it. This now her 11th try of the campaign. And we spoke in the first half, almost the hard work is being done in front of her, but this, as much as it looks again easy there, there's so much time and effort on the training ground for something like that to come off.
Absolutely. You know, forwards will take themselves away and they'll work hard on all the details around the latching, who's coming in, where they're connecting. It's a really fine art, and yeah, something that teams use as a massive weapon because it's so difficult to defend when it gets right.
Marley Packer with the big carry initially from kick-off, and everything at the moment just seems to be going Saracens' way. Martin with the kick, that's straight down the throat of Abby Dow, who immediately kicks it back, trying to find some green turf, but Martin read that one, and then again, well, that's a wonderful take from Sammy Graham, stuck out a right paw and managed to gather the ball. West, the acting scrum half, to Muir. Slow this time for Graham. Deeper to Jones, has to just check to try and go deeper. But that's straight down the throat of Martin. Again, the low grubber kick option from Lisa Martin. It gets the ball to the point, if slightly unorthodox. And the call from the referee is a offside line. Georgia Evans, the one penalised, a leaving penalty.
Opportunity now for Wasps to respond, clear their lines, and then they'll find themselves in a good position, attacking position.
Sarah Mitchelson, known as Huddy around these parts, is jumping up and down on the sideline. Her return is imminent for Wasps. to return to 15 players. Rocky Clark just looking at the assistant referee with a bit of a grimace there. She thought the line-out was 2 or 3 metres further towards the halfway line. Tapped off the back by Balogun. Just trying to keep the ball in play at the moment. Wasps under huge pressure at the breakdown. Muir looking for the rest of her forwards inside. To juggle with the ball there. Jones looking to check, tries to go across the pitch. It's found its mark, and here is Caris Williams. Looks to try and throw the ball out the back. Abby Dow with the big handoff. Gets through 1, gets through 2. Still going Abby Dow. Looking for the corner. Now Abby Dow! That is brilliant. What a score from the Wasps fullback. Rode a couple of tackles. Showed her pace. And the hosts right back in this game. Brilliant, brilliant score from Abby Dow.
Absolutely outstanding, but where does it start? It starts with Meg Jones to see the space, see that Saracens are flying up on the inside. Where's the opportunity? Out on the edge, can't get it there with a passer, puts the boot to it. Great take by Caris Williams, little out the back door. And when Abby Dow has got the ball in a bit of space, she is absolutely lethal. Her fend, her leg drive in the contact, doesn't slow down, gets her rewards. Fantastic try from the team.
8th try of the campaign for Abby Dow, 12 tries last season before the campaign was curtailed by COVID-19, and that one of the standout ones of a number of standout tries for the Wasps fullback. Jones to try and give Wasps the lead, unfortunately just wide with her effort. And let's have another look at this Abby Dow try.
Fantastic offload in the tackle. Look at the fend, she's got it out, two hands back on the ball, giving her options, makes the defence question. Absolutely brilliant finish.
15 England caps, and you imagine more to come with form like that she's showing. A wonderful try from a player who's studying mechanical engineering. Certainly engineered her way back into the game for her team. With Mitchelson back on, we're 15 against 15. It's 17 plays, 16 on the scoreline. Jones again with the dummy. Thought she was going to be kicked as Degudi came through. An advantage on the play now as well. We're going to go back to the far side, and it's a penalty to Wasps. And Jones will dust herself down, get up off the floor, and look towards the touchline with this penalty.
Yeah, I got it, mate. Yeah, thanks.
The loss at Quins last week for Wasps, sending a run of 5 wins in a row for them, propelling them up the table. Really amongst the top 4 conversations, Dejelle Mather's side. Maybe some really tight fixtures against some of the top teams as Monaghan takes the ball. That's a good offload as well, working her arms out the tackle. Christiana Balogun taking it forward, but then the turnover coming. And how many times have we said that this afternoon? Marley Packer gets up, ball in one hand, under her arm.
Yeah, absolutely outstanding. We know that she's the best in the business. The reason she's a Red Rose and keeps that 7 shirt. She's absolutely outstanding over the ball, low body position, latches onto the ball. The ref can see she's got the ball and trying to lift it. She's played her team into a great position.
They tap back in from out of touch, back into touch. And well, Wasps trying to keep the ball in play. It did eventually bounce to a Saracen's hand. And the knock on a call from Nikki O'Donnell on the far side. So I think the tap back into touch was actually a knock on. And we'll go back for the free kick to Saracens.
Yeah, disappointing miss from there. You know, we've talking about the opportunity to launch off in that 22 with the Saracens pack that they have to get that driving maul going again. Lisa Martin, that's a couple now that she's missed for touch. She'll be maybe looking to take a little bit off that to guarantee that they go out.
Free kick taken by Saracens, right on the edge of the 22. Back round, that's an excellent line. Still trundling forward is Cleal, and there's the offload. And Campbell for the hat-trick. Well, Poppy Cleal with a stunning line. What a try from Saracens, all created by the line of Poppy Cleal. It's in fact Marley Packer is the one that's standing up, right on her inside, still encouraging the troops forward. Cleal with the line, Packer with the support, Saracens with the bonus point, fourth try.
I mean, Poppy Cleal is a hard player to tackle when she hasn't got speed, but she comes from depth there. Really, really good work from Martin, who's just drawn the defenders in, managed to get the ball away, and who's right on Poppy Cleal's shoulder that's been there all day, all game, is Marley Packer to finish it off.
Apologies to Marley Packer not calling that first time. At first glance it looked to be May Campbell through a pile of bodies, but Campbell actually receiving some treatment on the pitch at the moment as Martin lines up this conversion. One successful so far, and an easy one for her as well. A couple of extra points for her team. 24-16 now as we look at this again. And Packer, well, there's just not much Abby Dow can do there.
No, all she can do is put her head down and tackle Poppy Cleal. I think even Poppy doesn't even have a little look there. She just knows that Marley's on her shoulder, lifts it up nice and gently. Packer to run in under.
Excellent awareness from Cleal. Uren against Quantza, bounces off the winger. Good work from the Saracens 14. Another one that will be part of the GB7's training squad announced this week, along with teammates Holly Aitchison and Deborah Fleming. Deep to Martin.
Okay, thank you.
This is where Wasps could be dangerous. Open play.
Kick from Jones, and that's found space. Karis Williams coming forward, and the ball is taken from Karis Williams, but there was a knock on as Williams was coming through there. I think Alder was the one in an offside position. Left it for Williams, just unable to gather.
Yeah, they're quite tricky to pick up when they're bouncing. You don't know what way they're going to go. But great to see Meg Jones trying to utilise the boot to put it in the space.
Couple of changes for Wasps. Sammy Graham going off. Lucy Nye coming on. And Ellie Kildun now added as well, and Emma Swords on as well for Saracens. So the bench is being unloaded. Good to see Ellie Kildun back from an England point of view. First bit of action is to run forward, and that's an excellent take from Ellie Kildun. One of those 50-50, do you sprint forward, do you let it bounce and maybe control it with your foot? But she has the pace and the gas to get it. And then first bit of action for her. What's now down this blind side. Good carry over the halfway by Balogun. Other changes. Maud Muir under a bit of pressure there from a Wasps point of view.
Great acceleration off the line for Vicky Fleetwood.
Balogun again with the carry. Wasps just trying to get some momentum in their attack at the moment, but seeing as it's not going anywhere, let's go for a bit of territory through Jones. McKenna reads it well, looking for options in front of her. Big lined up tackle there on McKenna. Swords to Cleal, big looping pass to Uren. Nudge forward from the Saracens winger. Kildun under some pressure with her first kick since coming on. Martin looking ahead of her, trying to find the gap. A couple of times we've seen her go for that grubber today, and that one was very well weighted. It's also just outside the 22. No driving ball option for Wasps there.
Quick introduction there to Ellie Kildun back. She's going to add a lot of spark in that attacking side for Wasps. But look at the versatility of Poppy Cleal. You know, a 15 metre pass out to her winger.
Showing all her skills this afternoon, Poppy Cleal. Older now, straightening things up. The Wasps captain scored an excellent try in the defeat to Wasps last week. Jones, who will be under a bit of pressure from kicking this half. The wind has just picked up a bit. Irene again through the challenge of Kwanzaa. Done well on that one-on-one battle so far as Poppy Cleal tries the dummy. An obvious bit of crossing there. And the Saracens number 8 has to leave the ball.
Yeah, unfortunately, a big let-off for them. Gives Wasps an opportunity now to get out of here.
Safe enough kick to touch. Just a bit of impetus you feel needs to come again from Wasps. Saracens have been on top at the start of this second half, grinding through the tries from second from May Campbell, then Marley Packer getting on the scoreboard as well. And Wasps get to really spend much time inside the Saracens 22 to the front. That's tapped off. Nye, difficult one to deal with the replacement scrum half. Had to keep the ball in hand through the on-rushing red shirts. Around the corner is Kabai. Wasps having to secure the ball. No one down the blind side. Here is Jones. What can she create? Short pass to Wilson Hardy. Good line from the outside centre. Nye back round to this blind side. Here's Hannah West. Did well to pick the low pass up there. Campbell coming through along with Cleal.
This is where Wasps just need to keep a bit of control. They're in good possession. They're stressing the defence. And now the arm comes out for the penalty.
Slow and methodical stoppage of play here at the moment. And just time off call by the referee. Marley Packer just receiving a bit of treatment from a Saracens point of view. This has been a hugely physical game, and at the heart of what has been going on and that physicality has been the Saracens back row. A couple of scores to bring you up to date with. Loughborough 17 points to 0 ahead against Worcester, as we have a look back at the last Saracens try.
You're definitely going to find this in Marley Packer and Poppy Cleal's highlight reels. Brilliant. Again, we spoke about running at depth, running with intent, hard onto the ball. Poppy Cleal is a big, strong ball carrier, but she's got the soft skills, as we're seeing her move the ball 10 metres as well on a spin pass. But just the subtleness, gets the ball back into two hands. Little offload to Marley Packer, who's right on her shoulder to dot it down.
Still down at the moment, now gets onto her feet. Marley Packer receiving some treatment. Hannah West as well, just a couple of bits from the physio. Those other scores, Exeter Chiefs 77-5 to the good winners. That's a full time from Sandy Park. Gloucester Hartbury 7-0 up against Bristol Bears. In fact, Worcester have just scored themselves a try, so 17-5 now between Loughborough and Worcester. And 0-0 between Harlequins and Sale Sharks. And again taking place up in the northwest. Jones getting her side inside the 22. 24-16 at the moment. It's the reigning two-time champions Saracens, a team so used to winning in this league. 33 wins in a row before that defeat at Sandy Park against Exeter. They can just grind out results with the best of them. Bit of a mix-up between the Wasps callers there. Liz Craig and Balogun having a bit of a word between each other.
Yeah, it looks like miscommunication. Not sure on what the call was. Really disappointing, because that was a huge striking opportunity for Wasps to get back.
Martin goes for the big hoof. Jones does excellently to keep the ball in. Kildun with the step, gets away from Uren, now putting boot to ball, and she will find turf there. Martin forced to turn. Ellie Kildun trying to chase down the Saracens fly half, put under some pressure. McKenna in the middle of the field. Jones and Kildun trying to come through. Good chase by Kabai as well. It's worked out not too bad in the end, because Martin's kick was an excellent one. Poppy Cleal again riding the challenges. Kwanzaa coming through on her. Did Uren manage to pick that up successfully. No, she did not. Knock on.
What about that skill from Meg Jones? I mean, she is pulling the strings today, but just be, leaping out in the air, keep that ball in, get it into the danger women's hands of Ellie Kildunn. Just there on Poppy Cleal, you can't go high on her. She's got an enormous leg drive, which allows her to beat defenders.
Wasp set up then, backing and attacking position. Older for such diminutive height, the inside centre. She always seems to carry so hard and break tackles and suck defenders in. This is better from Wasp. There's good energy on this attack, and here is Jones, who always brings energy when she gets her hands on the ball. Now it's with the forwards. Hunter lurking out deep, not rolling away this time for Saracens, and a couple of penalties in a row from Wasps. This is very kickable from Meg Jones.
I think she's having a look at Kate Older there just to say, what do you want, captain? Opted for points. Good decision. They've been in this area a couple of times, made a few errors. Be good to take some points away.
This would reduce the score to a 5-point game. 2 penalties so far for Meg Jones. Looking to try and take her haul for the afternoon up to 14 points. Such a short run up from Meg Jones, successful with the strike. Another 3 points for Wasps, keeping that scoreboard ticking over, getting points whenever they get inside the 22. "25 minutes to go here at Twyford Avenue. This game really, really well set. Monaghan with the take. Just not quite the energy and the flying up of we saw right at the start of the second half from Saracens. Stoppage on the play though. Player down just to receive some treatment. Time off called by the referee. You can just hear the Wasp bench though once that kickoff was taken, and they feel that this game is there. They know that these are really important moments for the hosts in terms of turning pressure and possession into points.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they're a side that galvanise around each other. They get great energy. They have great belief in the side. So to get in the right areas of the pitch, which we said would be key to the success of each side today, playing in the right areas, taking your points when you can.
Shot of Giselle Mather there. I mentioned her on her platform. A one-on-one platform. Cheers. For the Wasps director of rugby, and although she would be pleased with aspects of what her team have produced, she knows there's a game to be won here. Still down at the moment. Saracens player receiving some treatment.
I believe it is, yeah. Is that clock good? Yeah.
A couple of the other scores. Gloucester Hartbury now 14 points to 0 up against Bristol in that West Country derby. Half time in the East Midlands, it's 17-7, Loughborough leading Worcester. 0-0 in the game between Harlequins and Saracens in the Northwest. 77-5 was the result from Exeter. And a big win for them against DMP Durham Sharks. Poppy Cleal, who's just been in the wars recently. Getting a bit of treatment, but seems good to go. Such a huge part of what Saracens do. A catalyst for so many good things they do. Excellent again this afternoon, Poppy Cleal. Scrum to Wasps. Lucy Nye on the ball. Abby Dow just lining up to the right of the scrum as an option, the rest of the back line to the left. This on the Wasps 10-metre line.
Good opportunity, back line v back line. Be interesting to see where this one goes.
Here's Jones running across that back line, a big looping pass to Quansah. Well, there was space out there, just not the direction on the pass. She tries to straighten things up. That's a big handoff from Quansah up against McKenna now. Steps inside, another handoff from Quansah. Superb run from the Wasp winger. Up to the 22, Nye demanding the ball. Now she gets it, there's space out right if Wasp can work it. Muir goes the direct route. Nye again, still looking to try and work that space on the outside. Here is Abby Dow. What can she produce again? Another handoff, another one. Abby Dow still going. Brilliant from Abby Dow. Abby Dow for Wasps. Such a stunning individual score. A player that just beats defenders for fun. And the Wasps full-back again gets her side level here at Twyford Avenue.
I think she was looking down this side of the pitch saying, Celia Quansah, if you can do it, I can do it. Brilliant work from both edge to edge. She beats 6 defenders there, gets the fend out, pushes them off, keeps her leg drive in the contact, stays nice and low. Look at the way she transfers the ball, moving it to the opposite side of where the defender is. She should get the fend out, keep leg drive in, and what a boost that will be for the side. Big kick here from Megan Jones.
Entertainment aplenty in the Allianz Premier 15s. And Abby Dow, there cannot be a much better finisher in World Rugby at the moment. And if you're struggling to understand what an end-to-end game is, just listen to the pants from referee Joe James, who's struggling to keep up with play. Jones to give her side the lead again. Jones with the strike towards the post, and up go the 2 yellow flags. Wasps do have the lead. We've got 12 minutes to go, and the hosts are back in the lead.
Outstanding. As I said here, gets the fend out, leg drive through, ball back into 2 hands, ready to fend off the next player, changes her line, keeps the leg room. Great work from Vicky Fleetwood to keep trying to chase her down, but it was all a little too late.
Abby Dow now up to 9 tries for the campaign. Grandstand finish incoming at Twyford Avenue. Lisa Martin's restarts have been right on the money for Saracens. Muir with a stunning break. She's carried so well for her team, and now Wasp with the chance and numbers down this left-hand side. Old with the loop over the top. Kildunn in space. Quansah outside her. Here's Kildunn trying to step through the tackle. Did well to be brought down there by Yeren. Mitchelson takes it forward. Wasps going for the bonus point try of themselves. 3 scores for them this afternoon, added to the penalty of Meg Jones. Nye keeping it short this time. The Wasps forwards taking on the Saracens pack. Nye to the right. Again, it's kept tight. Going through the phasers. This is a good attacking position for Wasp. Jones had to just stretch to try and get that ball. She did well. Abby Dow managed to juggle the ball, but she juggled successfully and kept hold of possession. All tight at the moment. This time it's Balogun with the carry forward. Ball has come loose and Saracens in possession now. Credit the Saracens defence there because they've come away with the ball. Emma Taylor, the Canadian forward, on as a replacement for them. Benches will be empty, looking for the extra legs, looking for the impetus. Martin puts boot to ball, but again Jones back there. Kildunn. First time we really saw her cut loose last time. Little nudge forward trying to find some space. Yeren with the knock on. Kildunn has recovered the ball. Trying to get it back, but it will go back to the penalty. Poppy Cleal furious as she got up holding the ball there.
Unbelievable play. I think this is where Giselle Maver will want her team to take control. They're in the lead. They've been in this position before. They'll be looking to get the ball as far down into the corner as possible. Ellie Kildunn's been electric since she's come on. Put boot to ball, applied pressure on, and it's found them in much better position on the field.
Well, this is a position where Saracens have got themselves a couple of driving mauls. A couple of fresh faces for Wasps. Morgan Ransley on as well.
Big line-out opportunity. As you saw, the last line-out communication wasn't quite right. You see the pack having a quick chat before going in.
Disruption from Saracens at the front. The ball trickling back into touch. Not too sure from both May Campbell and Maud Muir who got their hands on the ball. Check with the referee and the assistant who got the final touch.
Guys, you can have a line out here, or it's a knock on in 15 at the line out. What would you like?
So an option given from Wasps with
free kick.
a knock-on free kick or the line out, and we're going to go for the free kick on the 15.
Good decision.
You definitely have the ball from a free kick line out, as we saw there under pressure from Saracens. 9 to Jones, to Mitchelson. Such a workhorse for Wasps. Juggle around from Nye, gathered by Monaghan. Going backwards at the moment, Wasps. Bit of extra energy again in this Saracen defence. Those fresh legs flying forward. Nye, Packer flying up, back on the inside. Is the run from Wilson Hardy. That's excellent work from Amy Wilson Hardy. Ransley with the first carry for her this afternoon. Very direct so far from Lucy Knight, really hitting the mark at the moment with her passes. Deeper now to Jones, looks to the outside, back round the inside, fancies a dart down the blind side.
Just never know where she's going to go. She's such a live wire when she gets on the ball.
It's in the very best of Meg Jones this afternoon. She's been a huge part of her team's effort that has the 2-point lead.
Wasps just need to stay patient here, keep it in nice and tight, get the momentum, get the Saracens on the back foot, and then they'll have the opportunities.
Probing, pressing, and still playing Wasps. They're going through the phases. They know they keep the ball and they keep the territory in this part of the pitch. They're heading on to a huge, huge win. Still some work to do though. Here's Wilson Hardy trying to step inside and out.
I think Meg Jones has spotted the opportunity on the outside now.
And here she is to Kildunn. Dow outsider, here is Ellie Kildunn. Dummy from Ellie Kildunn, racing through, going through, looking to try and stretch, just brought down short. Alden tries to recycle it quickly. Right in behind Saracens here, frantic moments for the champions until the knock-on comes. Saracens with the advantage on the play, looking to try and run the ball out. Kildunn going so close to what it could have been a winning score for Wasps, but Saracens have possession again.
I think Kildunn will look back on that one and think maybe I should have just given it a little bit of time, give it to Abby Dow on the outside. She's been excellent so far, but brilliant comeback and brilliant defence to hold Wasps out for this long, get possession back. Great control from them.
Less than 5 minutes to go. 2-point lead for Wasps. Kildunn to Quansah against Uren. 2 England 7 Stars going up. That's an excellent step from Quansah, looking to go around the outside, use her strength now. The double tackle bringing her down. Places it, frantic fighting for the ball on the ground. Wasps still just about have it on the right touchline. Eventually the flag goes up. So many moments for this Wasps back three. Kildunn, Dow, Quansah as well. Pace and power all over the park, but Saracens at the moment just about stopping them crossing the line.
That's what we talked about, the X factor in the back three. A lovely hitch kick from Celia Quansah just to get on the outside of Erin Uren, who is rapid herself. Brilliant run from Quansah. Again, transfer the ball, gets into the other hand, gets a fend out. But great cover tackle from Lisa Martin and for Uren to get back.
Here we see from Ellie Kildunn coming forward. As he mentioned, there was the 2-on-1 there though, just before that moment with Abby Dow.
Yeah, she just gets scragged really right at the last minute, grab of the shirt and pulled it back in. But yeah, I think they may look back at that one and think could have released Abby Dow.
1, 2 and 4.
We are getting into the closing stages. We'll get Rachel Burford's Allianz Premier 15's player of the match in just a second. Lisa Martin just getting some vigorous stretching. Saracens fly half, of course, I'm sure will be required to do the odd bit of kicking in these closing stages, so important her legs are confident when she does what she's doing. Time back on from the referee.
Guys, your mark's there. Hold on, guys, time's still off.
So line out to Saracens, May Campbell off, Vicky Fleetwood from blindside flanker to thrower now, and good take by De Goody.
Need to see discipline here from Wasps. Don't give them an easy penalty or an easy get out.
McKenna to Fleetwood, bit of space down this blind side. Good tackle from Celia Quanza. Langera Tambua, the replacement winger, on for Saracens now. Swords to Cleal, long way to go for Saracens to make themselves get into Wasp territory, but if there's a team in the league that can do it, it is them. Cabea and Packer, the two open sides coming together again. Huge collision from those two.
Wasps are really narrow in defence. If only they could look up. Sarah McKenna can hear her calling for it. Amy Wilson-Hardy's really tight.
Big tackle on Lisa Martin there. Monaghan coming through.
Huge defensive play there.
They're working frantically in defence. They put such huge effort into this game, and particularly this second half. It was 12-11 to Saracens at the end of the first 35 minutes. 26-24 to Wasps in the 69th minute. Packer with the carry.
Saracens need to play here. I mean, they even need to put boot to ball, get out of this area, because they're going side to side.
They're back in their power game at the moment, Saracens. Alex Osterbury cutting a frustrated figure down below us. McKenna just misses the inside ball to Corrigan. Poppy Cleal standing still, and she took the ball, took a huge breath, given everything to this game. She looks exhausted. Final stages of the game. We're getting close to full time. There's a hugely animated Wasps bench. Mitchelson with the tackle on Packer. They're still inside their own half at the moment, Saracens.
This looks like, to me, that Saracens are trying to run the clock out, keeping it nice and tight. I'm not sure they're aware. It's 26-24 to Wasps at the moment.
Well, there's still the frustrated figure of Alex Osterbury. They're going through the phases. One or two players on the floor. Loop over the top for Lankaretta Bua against Quanza. Did just about enough to bring her down. Swords short. Monaghan hobbling up, and just as the physio goes off, she's right back into the action. Here's Sophie De Goody taking it forward. They're now inside the Wasp half. There's a 10-metre line. Bit of energy on that play. Is there a bit of space on the outside? Here is Fleetwood round the outside. She spills the ball forward. Huge celebrations on the Wasp touchline as the hosts will have possession back. Just got to keep the ball now, Wasps. No advantage for the knock-on. Free kick to them.
After the free kick.
And Breve, wow, what a last couple of minutes of play we've just had here. Outstanding work rate from Wasps, you know, numbers on their feet, calling, keeping the energy up, getting off the line, putting tackle in after tackle. Really frustrating for Saracens. You can see Alex Osterbury on the sideline here. Disappointed with the finish there.
Meg Jones kicks the ball in the touch. Memorable win for Wasps. They've beaten the two-time champions 26-24. Full time here at Twyford Avenue. A topsy-turvy game. Two stunning tries from Abby Dow in the second half. Turned the game. 16 points as well from Meg Jones. Fantastic effort from Giselle Mather's side. They've beaten the league leaders. They go temporarily into third place. So many performances from them this year against the top sides. So close last week against Saracens Women. This week, Wasps Ladies come out on top, 26-24.
Unbelievable result, and I have to say my player of the match is going to go to Megan Jones. She's been outstanding for the side today, orchestrating her team around the pitch, playing in the right areas, getting points on the scoreboard, keeping that energy up. She's been outstanding for the team and is thoroughly deserves player of the match today.
We'll get a word with the Allianz Premier 15's player of the match, Megan Jones, speaking to Ashley Wilmot when we can get hold of her. But let's have a look at some of the highlights of a game that just went back and forth in terms of what we saw this afternoon. This is the first Saracen score of the game through May Campbell.
Yeah, superb try from Saracens. We know the power that they have there, getting nice and low, into playing themselves into the right areas of the pitch, and then they become dangerous. Getting low underneath, Wash just unable to get underneath, to get low enough to try and drive it back or to even halt it to make them play the ball, and Mel Campbell gets over.
That was the second try of the game. Meg Jones with the first. This was a very tight first half, both sides having the up and down moments, but this is a try right on the stroke of half time and gave Saracens a 12-11 lead.
Yeah, and I think you saw the characteristics of Saracens coming back right at the death for the half time to go in with the lead, showing the side what they're made of. Brilliant finish from Rocky Clark. You know, she does it. She knows exactly where that try line is, and she's not going to miss an opportunity to get 5 points under her name.
And that her fifth try of the season. There's a couple of Meg Jones penalties in there, as well as her try in that first half. And then Saracens, again, almost a carbon copy of the first one.
Yeah, exactly the same, if not slightly better. They're in tighter, they're in lower. Their momentum's even picked up even faster. Mal Campbell gets over again with Rocky Clark's help.
Trundling forward, so much momentum behind that Saracens driving maul. At this point, they were 17-11 to the good when this turned into a bit of the Abby Dow show, which we will see again in a second. Just another look at this Saracens try from a different angle. Wasp players, you can see them coming round, trying to get back in, trying to get the numbers there, but nothing they can do to stop.
Yeah, as soon as that gets going, it's one of the hardest things to be able to stop legally as well.
Here we go then, the first of Abby Dow's scores.
See that little one-hand offload from Caris Williams. That's one player, she brushes off two. Changes hands with the fend. There's three players to get her first try in, and then she doubles that on the next try.
You can see her going as well, like just scanning the pitch and looking inside and out. You know, do I need to change hand here? Can I beat her with pace? Is there some offload options inside?
Exactly. She's keeping her options open. She's looking left and right of her. Where are the threats? Where's there some space that I can exploit? She does it so brilliantly.
This was an excellently worked try. Maybe aesthetically the most pleasing from Saracens. Martin to Cleal, and then the inside supporting line from Marley Packer. And this put them with the conversion 24-16 to the good.
Yeah, big credit to the Wash defence, because we didn't see much of that. But when Poppy Cleal gets an opportunity to leg drive through, two hands on one ball, Marley Packer right on her shoulder. Also Georgia Evans there in support as well. Brilliant play from Marley Packer, from Lisa Martin. Draw the two defenders in, literally as she's being tackled, releases that ball to Poppy Cleal coming on from depth.
And then this, the winning score. Well, take your pick, your first or second, the best.
I've got to say this one. She beats six defenders, transfer of the ball, sees where the space is, still leg driving, still being tackled over the line, and manages to dot it down. We've seen her deadly in a red rose shirt, and she does it time and time again for Wasps. Absolutely outstanding finish from Abby Dow. She has no right to score there. That's Lottie Clapp, Sophie de Goudier, Poppy Cleal, and Vicky Fleetwood and two others as well, trying to take her down. Unbelievable finish. That'll be one that she'll be remembering.
Beating defenders for fun there, Abby Dow. That brought the scores level at 24-24, and Megan Jones knocking over the conversion in what was 16 points for her this afternoon. 16 of their 26 points, and the Allianz Premier 15's player of the match is heading towards us just now. And we will get a word with her in just a second as she speaks to Ashley Wilmot. Mind you, of course, a couple of other scores throughout the Allianz Premier 15s. Harlequins have got themselves a score in the Northwest. Gloucester Hartbury 14-0 up against Bristol Bears in that West Country derby. Worcester 24-7 down at Loughborough Lightning. Reminder this full-time score here, 26-24. Harlequins 7 points to the good. It was 75-5 at Sandy Park. Exeter Chiefs Women, that first game of the day, kicking off at midday. And it's Harlequins have actually 2 scores now for them, 2 scores in the Northwest. Of course, you can keep up to date with all of those scores across Premier 15's channels, Premier 15's Instagram with some of the best bits, as well as Premier 15's Twitter as well. Let's get a word with Megan Jones, the Allianz Premier 15's player of the match. She's pitchside speaking to Ashley Wellmont about a memorable win for her side.
Thanks, Nathan. Yes, I'm down pitch side with quite the playmaker today, Megan Jones. Meg, just talk me through what happened.
Oh God, I don't even know. Just a run with emotion. Just huge learnings from last week as well. I think particularly for myself. I think game management was a lot better today. We were playing in the right areas. We were just ruthless, and we've changed the pack a lot as well. So it was just like amazing. I can't even fault the girls, some of the shift, and I hope it was a big showcase for women's rugby as well.
And how much did you enjoy putting those points on the board against the leaders on the table?
Yeah, nice. It's always a risk. People always look at you and they go, Meg, you got this, and you go, yeah, but if I don't get it, will you still like me? So yeah, it's just being confident with that, and yeah, I mean, doing anything you can for the team, so it helps out, doesn't it?
I think they're going to definitely still like you. You weren't the only person to put the points on the board. Abby Dow put in a very impressive performance. How pleased were your side with that?
Yeah, I mean, the back three we've got is insane. I don't think, I'd say it's up there with the best in the league. So to utilise that as much as we can is phenomenal. So yeah, Abby Dow always puts in a shift when she gets the ball early. So just trying to get it to her early enough.
And what else do you think contributed to that big W today?
I think just adaptation. Like I said, there's a big shift in our forward pack, and it was just being ruthless with what we learnt last week. And you have to kind of swallow the bullet sometimes. You've only got 5-6 days to get on with the loss, particularly the last week loss as well. So yeah, it's just ruthlessness for me and just pure character as well.
Well, huge congratulations. You are the Allianz Premier 15's player of the match. And you're not the only one with a smile on your face, because we're just joined by Giselle, head coach.
She's just happy to listen to her, to be honest.
Giselle, how does it feel to be at the top of the table?
It's the first thing I want to say, I just thought that was the most phenomenal game of rugby, and that needs to be broadcast on TV, on everything. The effort, the game, the quality of what I've just seen, that was amazing. And I think that's a really, both teams, what a fantastic game of rugby. From my point of view, obviously I'm delighted. Last week was tough. We had a really tough week, but a really accountable week, a load of learning, and this particular group are amazing at looking and going, yeah, that was me, I should have done this, and I'm learning this, and then they take it out the next week. So we've had a really tough week, and what a way to finish it.
I mean, before the game we spoke about the resilience of your side, and that just kind of personified it, didn't it?
Well, to make 7 changes in the pack, and for them to come up, and as I said before, I was hoping that my players would say, you got this wrong. Well, I think they've just sent me a little wee message, which is incredible. And the thing here is that we do work, all 40 players, we work all together. Everybody's always pushing the next one, and such that when we do have players off at international duty, the next have stood up in such a fantastic way, and they know exactly what's going on, and they've just produced a really smashing performance.
And there's been some really great individual performances today as well. Just talk us through those.
Well, obviously this one has done a really good job game management wise, and again, the feedback that she had last week and the way that she's responded to it, she controlled that game today and also let her own brilliance shine. And that's the balance of knowing when you've got to bring your teammates in and when you've got to take the space yourself. And I thought she did that brilliantly today. Her kicking game was so good today, which put a lot of pressure on Saracens. Abby Dow, she obviously produced some very special moments. I thought Sam Monaghan came on, what she produced, she was fantastic. There were performances all over the field, and I don't think we had a weak link today, and that is the key to it.
Balogun will be pretty pleased with that result as her debut today as well, won't she?
I think she'll remember it for a long time. She's obviously our lucky charm.
And next week you face Exeter. They've come up on top today. What are the work-ons?
For us, well, you've got to back up a performance like that, and we've been knocking on the door for a long time, coming third or fourth or whatever, and we've been knocking on the door, and I think we've just said, look, we are contenders, so we've got to use this as a springboard. We've got to work. Exeter will be they're playing some fantastic rugby as well, so it's going to be another very, very good game, and a very important game because of the way that the points are shaping up at the top of the table. So it's the most exciting season in that point of view, and this is the type of rugby we want to see week in, week out.
Yes, it is. Congratulations. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you very much.
Great to get the Allianz Premier 15s player of the match, Meg Jones, as well as the Wasps Ladies Director of Rugby, Giselle Mather there. Both their thoughts on a huge, huge win for Wasps, beating Saracens. And what a game it has been this afternoon. Here's a reminder of some of the fixtures coming up in the next round. A couple of the next matches, of course. So Saracens looking to bounce back against Bristol Bears. DMP Durham Sharks against Loughborough. Quins hosting Gloucester Hartpury. Wasps will welcome Exeter Chiefs here to Twyford Avenue, and then Worcester against Sale Sharks, the other game, the bottom of the table clash. All of those to look forward to in the next round of the Allianz Premier 15s. And some of the live streams as well we've got for you. Next time out, Harlequins welcoming Gloucester Hartpury. That's the Saturday the 6th of March. Next weekend back in Surrey Sports Park. Loughborough against Wasps. What a game that could be. Potential top 4 playoff semi-final consequences. Saracens against Harlequins. I mentioned it might be a top 2 clash. Well, Wasps will have something to say about that after performances like today. And Loughborough against Saracens as well. That in-between match during the Women's Six Nations. Some of the best sides, best talent and best quality games across the Allianz Premier 15s coming up for you. That's just about it for our coverage here at Twyford Avenue. Big thanks to Rachel Burford on the game this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed that, Rachel.
Yeah, fantastic game. What a spectacle of the game of rugby and the women's game at the moment.
And just as Giselle Mather said there, I mean, it's just, this is what it's about, isn't it? Because it's been, watching a game like that anywhere across the world, it's just a high quality game, excitement, brilliant moments. It's just fantastic for top flight women's rugby in England.
Absolutely, and we spoke about pre-matches that, you know, people are interested in coming to play in this league because it is around the world and people get to see it. It's an important year for women's rugby, so the type of having this kind of rugby on display is fantastic.
Thank you to Rachel. Thank you very much for your company this afternoon. A memorable win for Wasps Ladies, beating Saracens Women 26 to 24 points. Thank you very much for your time and coverage this afternoon. We shall see you again next time.
Rock with me, all my girls with me.
Out towards Chloe Rolly. Wonderful step from the Scotland international. Gliding away, running away, sprinting away, stunning score.
Lewis on the wraparound. This might work out for Thompson. They're going to put a little bit more on it, and then they're over.
Large on the ball, lovely flighted pass. Tatiana Hurd with a straight line, streaking towards the try line in the opening minute. She spills away, dives over the line. Wonderful fly from Tatiana Hurd.
Megan Goddard puts the afterburners on. Shot in Harris. 2-on-1 is Lydia Thompson. Oh no, you're not going to catch Lydia Thompson from there. Scott. Oh, it's intercepted by Emily Scarrett. They won't catch Emily Scarrett from there. The long legs just eating up the ground. Oh, Chloe Rowley's making her way back, but she won't catch her. Emily Scarrett has been on fire.
Carson again, she's having an absolute stormer of a second half. The Canadian international still going, gets the offload out. Lottie Clark bursts away from the tackles, gives it off. Carson again, looks around the outside, Packer for the hat-trick. What a score from Saracens. What a comeback.
Rock with me, all my girls with me. Rock with me.
Turnover by Malloy. And McDonald sets off. Claudia McDonald. Mack is back and in fine style. Oh, it's a fine strike. Marston controlling brilliantly. Bristol pack going forward. It's a penalty try. Oh, now there's a gap. Burgess